Hello, visual vlonkies, visual girls, visual boys and girls.
You just assumed what sex they are.
No, wait, I was going to say gender neutrals.
Pan.
Aliens.
Non-weird. Fucking shit nowadays.
There's going to be no one non-weird watching this, listening to this. Welcome back to the Visual Guys bracket, and this week we do have Chris and B. I also thought let's get Chris's thought processes is going. Oh. Let's give Chris a category he can get his little stiffy over.
Oh, what are we doing?
Your
version of a car.
Yeah.
Sounds like a motorcycle. We were watching Goon the other day, and I was like, "He looks really familiar." And he went, "Oh, I'll give you a clue."
He's not watched Goon.
Like a car, and I was like, "Eh?" Yeah, it sounds like a key. I was like, "Oh yeah."
So when I try to sound like a car, I sound like a bike. When I try to sound like a bike, I sound like a car. This ain't no 10-second race.
No matter winning's winning.
Don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Yeah, we're going to talk about Fast and Furious, the whole entire franchise.
Right.
But we're going to talk about, yeah, including Hobbs and Shaw, everything Fast and Furious.
Okay.
But we're going to talk about who is the best character. Not the most popular, not the most recognisable, not who your favourite character is.
Who my favourite character is?
Well, obviously my favourite character is not your favourite character, and my favourite character probably won't win this because you know, obviously there's only a few real mainstays in this.
Do you like Lucas Black? Is that who your favourite character is?
Han's my favourite character.
Han's
my favourite character.
He's probably a lot of people's favourite character.
Yeah, but I think the usual suspects. But anyway, we're just going to or we can do it. Who is the best character?
Well, I wrote it out so I could reread it, and it's a good job I did write it out because you put Shaw twice.
I did. But yeah, well, who's the best character? Who's the most? Yeah, like we did with Spider-Verse related shit. Like who's got the best story and the biggest growth, and who really carries the franchise and shit. There's a lot of cool characters in Fast and Furious. As much as what you think of some of the films, some of the characters are fucking cool. Yeah. So I thought we'd give you some love in one of the franchises that you adore.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, cool with that? And you know that you cool with that beat? Well, not that it matters with you. So let's do it. Let's determine who we think is the best character from the Fast and Furious franchise.
Let's do this.
Whilst Chris juggles a Wooloo.
Yep.
What does Wooloo sound like, Chris?
Bah.
Not just sounds like
Wooloo. Wooloo.
They all shout their own names.
All right.
Yeah.
They're not bear.
That's why.
Is it not a bear?
No, they're not bear.
Oh right.
That's why he shouts Charmander. And you've got Diglett. It goes Diglett, Diglett.
And trio. Yeah. Anyway, we're here to talk about.
So we've got Dom against Mia.
Dom and Mia, brother and sister.
Yeah. Who is the best out of them two?
Mia, you don't really see much of.
She fades. She's quite important in the first film.
She comes and goes. She was.
Yeah.
But she comes and goes. But Dom is the main fucking character. Or one of her main characters.
This one was a no-brainer. I just put them together because Fast and Furious, just much like the Spider-Verse, there's a few characters in there that are just secondary. They're just in it to give it a bit of depth.
Actually, I wouldn't say she's a secondary character because she has been in since day one.
She has, but like you said, she drops in and out.
She comes and goes.
Which to me makes her a secondary character. It's like she doesn't do like the crazy mission shit really anymore. But again,
but she's grown up since she's had the kids and stuff.
But yeah, it's Dom.
Yes.
It's Dom. Dominic Toretto.
Brian and Letty.
Right, again, these two are main characters. Larry, she's been racing with Dom since day one, basically.
Yeah.
Paul, he was a copper, turned to street racer.
Brian, he was a copper.
Sorry.
Yeah, Brian.
Brian.
Who was the main character in the first one, but then sort of seemed to get overshadowed by Vin Diesel when he come back.
What do you mean?
Like, the first two, all Paul Walker out there, because obviously the second one, Vin's not even in it. But then when you start to see it on, like, the posters and the films and all that kind of shit, he's always just slightly behind Dom.
No. Yes and no.
Like, the whole thing is now Dom's franchise. After the 4th onwards, he become the main staple character. Even though I prefer Brian.
I wouldn't say he was the main stable character. Like I said, obviously, it's Dom's team, it's Dom's family.
Yeah.
Brian joined the family.
Yeah, he become attachment, yeah.
Obviously, because of Mia.
But it's always, like, the future films are always Dom's past, Dom's life, Dom's failures, Dom's kids. It's always him. It's always Dom. And like I said, go back and look at the posters. You've always got Vin Diesel in the middle, and just slightly to the right, but just behind, you'll have Paul Walker.
Yeah, and then obviously Letty on the other side.
Yeah, she'll be the other side. That's what I mean. It's all of these people that are there just to build Dom. He's the main guy, which is like, it kind of sucked because it did right because I prefer Brian and I prefer Paul Walker. So when it was the first, I thought, oh, mint, and then Dom comes back, I thought, oh yeah, you're overshadowing him a little bit here. So, but no, anyway, one about Brian and Letty. Sat here talking about Brian and Dom. Out of them two, it's got to be Brian for me.
I'd say the Brian for me.
Yeah, he's obviously he come a massive change because he started off like you said he was the copper.
He started for the copper.
That wasn't a twist to us. It was only the twist to Dom, wasn't it? Because it's right at the end.
Yes.
Oh, you were the 10-second car.
And then obviously he moved away from being the police and joins Dom.
Joins them officially. The second one, he's still working with the police, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
But it's like undercover, and he gets Roman involved. And that's how he gets introduced in the franchise.
Yes.
But yeah, it's Brian. Letty's cool, and obviously we explored the bit where she turns baddie-ish. Is she dead? She's not dead.
Baddie. She ended up in a car crash, so her brain was a bit.
Yeah.
So it just needed Dom to readjust.
But she was fighting them, so she was slight anti-hero.
She kind of knew something wasn't right.
Yeah. What are you laughing at?
My brain was a bit.
Well, it was.
No, it's just how I pitched you in.
Meh. But yeah, it's Brian. Brian wins that one.
Brian.
Jesse and Vince.
Obviously, only from Jesse's only in the first one, and Vince comes back for the one in Brazil. Yes. He's the one that wants to date Maya in the first one. He gets his arm all fucked up, doesn't he, on the side of the wagon? And is it the 5th one, 6th one?
5th.
Comes back and eventually dies.
5th one. It's because they're going to go to fucking some Spanish town.
Yeah, and Jesse dies in the first one, does he not?
Jesse dies in the first, he gets shot.
Yeah, but I always liked Jesse. I thought he was the kid who's like the quirky, weird one of the group where they're all like sort of like muscly, fucking, car dude blokes.
He was just a little nerd.
Well, yeah, did he have to do with computers as well? Yeah,
he was the computer nerd.
But I thought it was a cool character, and even though Vince has been in a few more films, I felt like they're on the same sort of level. But I think Vince, because he come back, he had this sort of semi-tie with Mia. I feel like he'd probably have to go through for me.
I'd say I agree.
Well,
because Jesse, obviously, he was important, but obviously so was Vince. And obviously, he never liked Paul from day one. He knew Paul, he had a funny feeling he knew Paul was a copper from day one.
They always used to have a fight at front of the sandwich shop. Well, it was a garage that sold sandwiches and shit. Was that right?
Yeah.
Or was it just...
Yeah, it started off with Paul just going to the sandwich shop for a sandwich, but also / to see Mia. And then obviously, like you said, Vince liked Mia.
And he had more of an impact because he betrayed them, didn't he?
Paul did, yeah.
No, Vince.
Yes, he did.
He was some sort of weird betrayal, whereas obviously, so he got a bit more depth to his character. Whereas Jesse, even though I really liked him when you watched the first one, that's it really. He's just there, a bit of comic relief and a bit of a sympathy when he dies. Whereas Vince, for me, it's Vince.
Yeah.
Giselle.
Gal Gadot.
Yeah. Thanks.
I was making sure.
Sean, is it Boswell?
I forgot his name. The real actor's name.
Who was it?
Gal Gadot's character against. We googled it before. I forgot his name again.
We googled Brixton's name before.
Oh, which one was he?
Brixton's Idris Elba.
Yeah, Brixton's Idris Elba. Black Superman.
Sean Boswell.
That's fucking
Is Lucas Black.
Lucas Black.
Lucas Black.
Let me see a picture. I got your foot in my face.
You all know who Lucas Black is.
Yeah, he's the The DK,
Yeah.
the main guy from the third one, who appeared again in 5. He had a sneak little cameo, didn't he? Later, is he on the phone to somebody?
He's on the phone.
Yeah, he's on the phone. But he was what at the time I thought was maybe going to be the future of the franchise.
He's in 9. He comes in 9.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
So they're all going to be just racing. He's just going to be there, just going. Meh, meh. They're all going straight line, miles and miles away, and he's just. Meh. I'm coming, guys. Yeah, he's fucking awesome. Han's not dead as well either, is he?
No.
So
who was it? Lucas and who?
Gal Gadot.
Lucas and Gal Gadot.
Sean and Gal Gadot.
Yeah. Right. Again, 2 characters I enjoyed. I would have liked to see more Sean.
He got. I know Gal Gadot's in more films, but she's not really in a huge like when they do the big grand spectacle moments. But he had an entire film based on him, so I'm kind of into. But obviously, her death, did that influence anything to do with Han going back to Tokyo, and then getting killed by Jason Statham?
Yeah.
It did something to him, didn't it?
Yeah.
So they both had impactfully things, but not to the grand scale. I'm going to have to go with him purely because he had a full film about him.
No, see, I'm going to say Gal Gadot.
Because she's Wonder Woman.
No.
Which might be getting released on Christmas Day.
Yes. I think because she played in more films, and I think she impacted a lot more people.
Yeah.
As well as she brought, not just her, because obviously there was Mia and Letty as well, but more females into the franchise.
Oh, he's playing that card, is he? So if I go against him, I
No.
look like a sexist.
No.
No, I see what you're saying. That's fucking...
It
makes sense.
It encouraged more female drivers just to get out there and say, well, look, it's not just a guy's thing.
No.
Like, say, look at B's car. She's a boy racer, not a girl racer.
You're a girly racer.
Boy racer. I do completely get what you're saying. It makes perfect sense. I'm just basing it off who had the best character. For me, the only thing she impacted for me was the relationship between Han.
Well, she had their roles to play in the film.
No, yeah, I know. Like I'm saying, when they did the big spectacles, she obviously had a certain, we need you drive around this bit and get their attention from me or to do this and whatever.
Yeah.
I just feel like him, in terms of a character coming out of the universe, I got to see his past. I got to see where he's at. I got to see him completely change and become a better version of himself. And I got to see his character completely, again, like I've just said, Lloyd's come full circle. So for me, I'm going to have to stick with him because he's the DK, the Donkey
didn't actually
Kong.
want that one done. Because it's got nothing part. It's got nothing.
Yeah, well, it makes no sense. I don't understand how he suddenly. Why did Vin Diesel become the main man in this? Because he had nothing to do with number 2.
After so many. Oh, fuck off.
So I saw it out.
After I think the 3rd or 4th one, he's like behind producing as well.
Right, yeah, because obviously 2
Yeah.
had nothing to do with him. They fucked him off. Because that would have been
Because it
his
was a
choice.
completely different director as well, number 2.
Number 3, they fucked everybody off, took it thingy. So why did he all of a sudden come back in and say, because he's missing out on 2 of these films? You know what I mean?
I think it was the 4th one that came back, but
he's not missing, sorry. He comes back at the end of Tokyo Drift.
He pops up for Tokyo Drift.
This ain't no 10-second race.
Yeah.
Which is, for me, is probably the most famous line. Yeah, I think it's the most famous line in Fast and Furious, maybe.
You see?
Either that or you owe me a 10-second car, or it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. It'd be one of them. So no, you still come with Gal Gadot
Yeah,
because
I'm gonna say
it's
Gal
we're
Gadot.
chucking it to you. B, you can either have the Texas Donkey Kong or Wonder Woman. Whenever you're ready, love. Because little Bow Wow, there's not.
Yeah, Bow Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it got the Hulk car.
Yeah.
We'll go for Giselle.
Giselle sounds like a Disney princess. Is that a Disney princessy name?
Giselle. Don't say why not.
It sounds like it. Do you not
That's
think?
Gal Gadot then. Jesus Christ. That easier.
No, I'm just
Same
saying.
person.
Same person. No, I just wanted to know if that was actually a Disney princess.
Giselle. Don't say why it won't be.
I feel like it is somewhere, you
I'm
know.
trying to think what film it is.
What film?
Is it Enchanted, where it all starts off all dead cartoony and everything, and she falls into like a well or something, and then it's in the real world? I think she's called Giselle.
Fuck knows. Next.
Brixton Law. which is Idris Elba,
And Victor, what's his face?
which is
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. Sorry, mate, I had to put him in there because he was fucking amazing. He was one of the best things about Hobbs and Shaw for me.
Yeah, Princess Giselle from Enchanted.
There you are, you know the crack. And like I said, there's no reason why in the future he can't stem forward and do some shenanigans. Plus, like I said, when you think about Fast and Furious, how many main, really important characters are there? There isn't that many. You kind of have to eke it out a bit. Plus, Ryan Reynolds always gets a spot no matter what. So Idris Elba versus Ryan Reynolds.
Adrian. I keep saying Adrian. Fuck off.
Adrian. To be fair, it's going to have to be Idris Elba because, again, he was a big villain.
Yeah, he was the main guy.
I know Ryan Reynolds was in it. He gave us a few comedic moments and it was fucking awesome to see. But in terms of actually impact and shit,
Well, it looks like we will be seeing more of Ryan
good. That was fucking awesome.
in the Hobbs and Shaw 2. But like I said, whatever it was, we're also getting a full-off female spin-off as well. So, I don't know what characters we want to see out of this one.
Hello.
But yeah, I think Idris Elba.
Yes.
Yeah, Black Superman.
Black Superman. He played a good villain.
He was fucking awesome, wasn't it? He was fucking gnarly. I know it's a million miles away from where Fast and Furious should be because, like I said, he's basically Captain America. A bit of an injection on that. His speed, strength, durability.
It isn't really.
Well, like I just stated, he gets a bit of an injection. His strength increases.
That side of things is a bit meh. But what Cypher does with technology, you basically can hack cars and get them to do.
But like the motorbike that transforms, slides under the fucking thingy, and
that's you can I couldn't say that. Yeah,
it's so. I mean, in terms, like I said, to be fair, Fast and Furious feels a million miles away from where Fast and Furious used to be.
Oh yeah,
you've already stated it's official that they're going to space.
It went downhill after the fucking fourth one.
See, I didn't like the fourth one. That's the wheelie one, isn't it? He's going through the desert. And he's getting shot at by God knows how many bullets, and he just goes. I don't deny the fact that I've seen some of the cars that. And he holds a full wheelie for like 30 seconds, deflecting these bullets. None of the vital shit. The car's getting destroyed. Vin Diesel's just giving it, and then it's like, what the fuck's happened here?
You can get cars that wheelie like that, but the way he did it, not like that.
Fucking
like fucking high end torque, power off the line, not just halfway fucking driving down the road. You decide to pop a wheelie
and deflect bullets.
It's not a bike.
But yeah, Idris Elba, high five.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw. This one's a good one to chat about.
Right. Okay.
Who? Jason Statham coming first?
Yes.
Yeah, is that right? Technically.
Well, technically.
Yeah.
Technically, from when the car hit Shaw.
Fast and Tokyo Drift. You can count that. I know you don't see him, but you see the car hit.
You see the car, but we all just assumed it was just a random car crash.
Yeah.
And then it later stated that
there's a cutscene, isn't there?
Yeah.
Because he was after Vin, so he thought the best way to get to Vin is killing one of his mates.
So he's going to kill his family.
Yeah. Which, it's just stupid because his brother was an evil dickhead. They finish him off, so I'm going to kill your mate. We just stopped an evil dickhead. And it annoys me about Fast and Furious because the bad guys always become the good guys.
Yeah, basically.
They hated Jason Statham. Like, they fucking couldn't stand him. I know they do the little bickering bits, but they work together. The Rock and they said they were going to kill each other. Never work. They hate each other. Then they're best pals in Hobbs and Shaw. They're like, go on, pal. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? So that's why I said to you, as soon as John Cena's finished this film, they'll beat him. He'll say, I've seen the error of my ways. And then they'll be on their side. And like, you fucking hated him 2 minutes ago. Like, you physically wanted to kill him. It does your fucking tits in. But no, Hobbs and Shaw. Who do you prefer?
I'm going to have to say Shaw.
I think Shaw as well. I mean, Hobbs is fucking awesome.
I don't mind Hobbs, but it's... I don't know. No, it's going to Shaw. It's Shaw.
Yeah, I mean, both of them, but you can argue the same points for both. They're both kind of parallel in the same sort of way. Yeah, you get to see a lot of The Rock's backstory. Well, not even backstory.
The only reason why we've got Hobbs and Shaw, though, is because Dwayne and Vin don't want to work together anymore.
No, which is a bit. Well, it's not shit, and it's on two ways. It's a bit annoying because this is not The Rock's franchise.
It's Vin's films, but yet The Rock's came in.
It's hard to argue against The Rock though, because he's going to make the franchise more money. He's going to get the more exposure. He's the biggest actor out of all of them, without a shadow of a doubt.
That's why they gave him the spin-off, so just to keep him happy.
Well, every studio wants to have a Rock film because they know the money it's going to generate.
It's done better than the other franchise.
Yeah, which I couldn't believe. But yeah, I think I'm slightly more compelled to Shaw. I like him a bit more. He went from villain to good guy, which again is annoying, but at least it's a nice big swing around.
Yeah.
You get to see his mum back in it. His brother was a decent villain.
Sister.
Who was his sister?
The one with the virus in her.
Oh, I can't mind that one. Well, no, I tell a lie. Yes, I remember. Yes. And again, The Rock was full. The Rock was cool. I do like the fight. It's a little.
It was nice introducing his family.
Yeah.
And all that side of things.
Because it's how Vin, when he was playing bad guy, it's how he set up. Like, he'd have loads of scenarios set when like a van would park across the car, so Cypher can't see him for a split sec. He's talking to her, and they set loads of shit. The only thing that did actually kind of was, remember when he fought Vin Diesel in the car park and the floors all cracked, and Vin Diesel, like a fucking superhero, is he either punches it or kicks it. The floor's cracking. He goes, "Bruh," and it all just comes down, and you're just like, "Fuck off, mate." Absolutely. And another thing is what always gets us with these. Why Jason Statham I can understand because he's like ex-military type shenanigans. Yeah. Why does Vin Diesel, a street guy who just races cars, had probably a few street balls, why is he has the capability to fight like a ninja? Stealth and block and but I don't understand it, mate.
I don't know. If you go up in the streets, you just I don't know.
Yeah, you can have a perfect brawl. I completely get that, but not giving it combinations and shit. You're like, what? This is no. It's fucking weird. But no, I'm happy to go with Shaw, mate.
Ask a person who grew up on the streets.
Oh.
Got Mateo and Han.
Mateo.
Is he the
Roman Reigns.
Drug dealer?
No, well, I hope not. It was Roman Reigns, because I put Shaw in twice, I need a quick replacement. So I just went for Roman Reigns, because seeing as he's your main wrestler. It's hard.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's hard. But I did like Roman in there. His acting was all right in it. It was
for the first time singing.
Yep.
It's all right.
It was. He hosted he gave an award out at the MTV Awards a couple of weeks ago. He looked very smart. He was funny. I got a little bit excited when I seen them and they did the whole Samoan thing. That was fucking badass. But Han's just the fucking boy.
Oh yeah, a lot of people go when Han was killed.
Yeah, because obviously, like you said, initially it was just, he's dead, there's not going on, but then you find out it's Shaw, but then you find out he's not dead because he's come back in this one.
You find out how and why he's still alive in this one.
Yeah, which I want to know.
Which I think it just means that he basically got out of the car.
He must have
in
done
time before it blew up, but he went out the other way.
Yeah.
And then I think people assume he had passed away. I think he just wanted to keep
get
out
of that world. Well, they all were on their way. That was him retiring anyway, wouldn't it? Yeah. Because the other ones are prequels before that, and him going back to Tokyo was him retiring from the shit that he does with Dom. So that was him in his retirement. So he probably does want an escape. Plus, every character. You might correct me because you know the franchise better. He's the only character that's got like a signature thing that they do, and his is always sat eating crisps or whatever. Yeah. I always associate the two with it, the thing, but I don't know if anyone else has got any.
It's to stop him from smoking because he's a heavy smoker.
Oh, what? So in real life, he's a heavy smoker. That was to stop him smoking. Yeah. Oh, I like that. See, that's a cool little. That's cool as fuck. And of course, he's my favourite character. He's awesome. But yeah, Han. Oh my god, she's gonna be asleep in a minute. she's gonna be cutting some hair soon.
I know. Pokemon cards after as well.
Fall asleep.
Tag Parker.
Roman and Ludacris. Yeah. Who are both big comic relief characters who now seem to always have their scenes together.
I like these two because they always kind of compete against each other. You've got one, I've got one. I've just bought the only car in this world. But yeah, we'll make them too. Yeah,
yeah. Ludacris is a lot smarter though, and Roman's a bit he's a little bit silly and
stupid.
Yeah.
Well, Ludacris, he knows his crack. He knows how to hack computers. So does I can't remember her name, but she's in Game of Thrones as well.
Yeah. Both made their debut in the same film.
They did.
Because Paul Walker was
Hey, his little yacht thing was at Ludacris's garage.
Ludacris was basically a
He had races, but he owned a garage.
advisor.
Yeah.
Race booking organizer.
Yeah, and that was midnight because, like I said, the garage. But yeah,
we've seen him in the first one, but that was it. Really.
Oh, we actually seen him in the first one, did we?
Yeah.
I couldn't even remember seeing him in the first one. Oh wait, does he start a race?
Second one.
Yeah, because he's going out with
We've seen him in the second
Suki.
one, because he left. Even the first one, obviously, when he gave Paul Vin the keys.
Yeah.
He moved to Florida. We went across state.
Yeah.
Ended up in Florida, and that's where he ended up.
But like I've just said again, mate, how the fuck can you buy a garage with a massive fucking lake thing behind it? It's fucking mint. Got the jet skis and that, and fuck it. Oh my god! But yeah, he goes out with Sugi, doesn't he? The girl who races in the pink car in the second
didn't go out
films.
with her. They were just very close.
Well, mate, watch them getting on in that film.
They were just very close.
Well, they at least were fucking, at the very least, because like I said, he's fucking on her ass, and he's fucking on my baby man. Oh, it's Ludacris, so he's cool as fuck. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go with Roman just because he, for me, is a bit more funnier. Ludacris is a fucking badass. He's class. I just like Roman and Brian's relationship. When you first see it, they're fighting, gets them off tag, they come back together, the friendship rekindles, and the way they went going on. I know Brian had a big relationship with both of them. As a dynamic, I love them too, so therefore I prefer Roman.
Nah, see, it's Ludacris for me. It's just like with all these technique skills.
He's now the new geek, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird because he started off like a gangster. I'm a G. I do all this street shit. That was like,
I wouldn't say he was a gangster.
oh mate, he had the fucking comb in his hair. He was the G. He was popping off. You know what I mean? Now he's like, now I've backed into the mainframe. I got the wire. It's like, well, you're a G. Now you're the nerd.
I wouldn't say he was the gangster. But
mate, that guy wore Timberlands. He was a G. He was a fucking G.
But he knew his crack, and like I say, they wouldn't be if he wasn't there.
Oh, he's a huge, vital part of the team. You could argue that they would get on fine without Roman, but not. I would happily argue that. But just Roman gives me the giggles. He makes me laugh more than Ludacris.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to still stick with Roman.
Rock, paper, scissors
It's
over.
Ludacris for
Just
me.
choose one. It doesn't matter. Just put one down.
Okay. Dom and Vince.
Who did you put down? Who did you put down?
Not telling you. Dom and Vince.
Dom and Vin. Again, this is now with the rapid fire rounds. It's Dom.
Yeah.
You can't really argue with Dom.
Gal Gadot and Brixton.
Idris Elba.
I think it's going to be Gal Gadot for me.
I can't name too many things that she did in there to affect how I see her as a character, apart from Die. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I can remember everything he done.
Well, yeah, you will do, because he was one of the main villains.
And
she, even though she was a
like, was she the best racer? I can't remember. She was Han's side piece. She wasn't very funny. She didn't have a great personality in it. She didn't do anything spectacular or amazing.
She did have her moments.
What name was them?
She could drive.
Right, well, hopefully she can drive, because it's a film about people driving cars. But even I can't physically remember watching her behind a steering wheel.
She could drive.
Right.
Do you remember when they're underground and she's got to get to the car through the cameras?
Yeah.
On where they keep practicing.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep going through cars and cars and cars, and she gets it with the Porsche. She can drive, and she's the driver for them.
She's fucking answer ready to drive car. That's what I mean, mate. I can't physically. None of that fucking matters to me personally. As a character, she was just, like I said to you the other day. I forget Gal Gadot really started off in Fast and Furious. I remember first many for Wonder Woman, which was quite a little bit after this.
Yeah.
Whereas Idris Elba, his character, I'll remember him as a villain in a franchise for a good while. He was fucking awesome, and he was probably better in that film for me than them two were. I mean, I don't know if I'm being a little bit biased because I love. Yeah, he was just fucking.
He was a brilliant villain. Don't get me wrong. He was a brilliant villain.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with Idris Elba. If you're gonna decide, let us know. It's scary. Are you sticking with Gal Gadot? I should really stop calling her Gal Gadot. She actually has a character name. Mendy.
No, I think he have kind of made a point now with this one. Yeah, I think it's gonna be ages. Yeah.
Black suit. I've got to stop saying black suit. I'm gonna say it all night now.
Brian and Shaw.
Brian for me.
I'm about to say, you can't. Can you argue with Brian? With anybody?
No.
I can see where this is going.
It's gonna be Brian and Vin, surely.
Peg, Parker, and Han.
Who? Sorry.
Ludacris and Han.
Oh, I've got to try not to be biased here. What does Han influence the team? Ludacris now brings the tech and that kind of shit. What did Han bring to it?
If you would have gone the same synopsis as you would say like Gal Gadot, not a lot.
Yeah,
Apart from introducing Lucas Black into it.
Can he drive?
yeah, he can drift. I mean, I remember Han for all his little weird quirkiness and his cool and his introduction, like when his car's absolutely wrecked and he's like, And I just remember him being cool, but in terms of as an amazing character that's actually affected the team, I can't tell you what his role is. So I'd have to go Ludacris.
Yeah.
Too fast, too furious. I'm too fast for y'all, man. Sure, he sung that, didn't he?
Him against Brian.
Ludacris against Brian. Oh, but yes, it's Brian. It's fucking Brian. Is that it? Is it that?
Brixton against Dom.
Oh, see, that would have been meant to see in the films. To see Vin Diesel come up against the Black Superman. But yeah, as much as I love Idris Elba, I think he's a welcome addition to whatever they do. I don't know if they're going to resurrect him somehow in the future. I don't know whatever the fuck they're going to do.
I don't think they're going to resurrect him.
Probably not, but
Cypher's definitely coming back.
Yeah, but I
that's
wouldn't be
when
surprised if
Vin-
there's a clone of him.
And
You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. And that's when we're going to get John Cena.
John Cena. Who is is John Cena one of these super soldiers like Idris Elba?
I don't think so, no. I
Is he
think
not?
I think he's like Vin.
Just a regular guy.
Yeah, Vin was a street thug. His brother, whatever he's called in it.
It's mad how they never once ever mentioned or noticed the brother.
Mentioned they had a brother.
You would have thought, like, you know, when Brian first started talking to me or whatever, he'd be like, yeah, she was like, oh yeah, my brothers. Or something might have just slipped up. They don't have to go in detail. We'll just give a hint that there's a third Toretto out there.
Right.
But I suppose, though, none of us could see him, could they?
Shut up.
Oh, sorry. But no, it's Dom beats Idris Elba.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's down to Brian and Dom.
Brian.
Brian
for me. I've always preferred Brian. I've always thought that.
I agree with you
the
there.
other way around, to be honest.
Agree with you there. I've always preferred Brian. I've always wanted Brian to be the main staple of the franchise. I prefer him as a character without questioning it out. I just think the second Vin come into it, he become still a main character, but he was a secondary to Vince. Vince? Who's Vince? He's dead. To Vin. I mean, Vin's a tree and everything.
Yeah.
He's not his group.
Yeah.
Like I said, he definitely 100% took a backseat to Vin. And it was always Vin's mission and Vin's this. His character went flat. We got the cop. We got the reveal. He did his second film, come back, and all he was doing after that was looking after his family and helping Vin. Where it was always Vin's stuff explored and Vin's problems they were solving and Vin's ideas and Vin this. Vin's now the bad guy. It's all about Dom. And unfortunately for me, he's the bigger character out of the two. As much as I prefer Brian.
I see where you're coming from, but I think going off which people would like best, I think I'd say Paul.
No,
Brian.
his popularity would probably be the winner. 100% it would.
But I wouldn't say he was secondary best because, like I say, it was a film about street races, and Vin was a street racer. Paul was a copper who just ended up getting a bond together. Paul going with Mia, and obviously Vin and his family, and while bringing them together. But I wouldn't say he was second best. Yeah, I can see where I see where you're coming from, where Vin's in the middle, and it's like blah blah blah, either side of them, but it wouldn't be Fast and Furious if Paul wasn't in it.
Oh, 100%. He's a main and important piece to it.
And I was gutted when he got killed.
It was fucking weird, shocking news. It was horrible. I agree with you. He's so important to this franchise. They needed him, and he had a lot of sway. But after 4 onwards, what about Brian's character? Not his popularity, not how thingy. What about his character was truly explored? Same as me. I draw a black, mate. This is fuck all.
Yeah,
it's the Dom Toretto show.
Yeah, again, I can see where you're coming from, because it's all Dom's problems.
Got 99 problems, but a Dom is one.
Basically, it is. Basically, it is. Yeah.
It's that fucking necklace. Everyone seems to fucking have it at one point and be like, it's Dom's. That fucking necklace has been there. That necklace is the most important fucking thing in this franchise. Haven't they? That Brazilian girl that he set, we've had it for a bit.
That's Hemsworth's wife.
Yeah, it is. Oh, you're right. Letty was holding it for a bit. I'm sure even Brian held it for a little bit, maybe at some point. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Just passing Jesus around. But no, carry on what you're going to say.
I'm still saying Paul.
Brian, Paul Walker, my favourite character out of the two. Amazing, awesome. The only car I can really truly name the Skyline because it was green. I was like, I like green. That's how. That's how. Oh, was it not? What was the first car?
Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Oh, sorry, they are. I don't know what car it is. Then that's how much I know. I just remember green car. Was fucking awesome. But we're talking in terms of biggest and the most character.
I thought we were going off what we thought. I don't know.
No, I said we shouldn't do popularity because it's an easy answer. So we're talking like with some kind of what we did with Spider-Verse. Who was the most important and influential, and without you could still.
You can kind of argue this with 2 ways. If you're gonna go from which was the biggest, I wouldn't say the biggest character in the film,
then obviously you need to say Vin, because basically all these films is about Vin's fucking family. But if you're saying which is the biggest character in the franchise, then people are gonna say Paul.
I don't know, actually, I'd say Vin Diesel's more of a known actor, so they would gravitate to that more. I'll put it this way. Fair enough, the second film, because Vin wasn't in it. The franchise going forward, you could have cut Paul Walker out of the second film and not put him in anymore, and the franchise would have continued.
But you can do also the same with Vin.
No, you can't, though, can you?
Paul could have took over.
Nah, because they wouldn't explore it the same, because it was still always his family and his shenanigans and that.
You would have, because it would have been Mia that would have taken over.
Paul would have come in, dated Mia, had the kid, drove off. They could have done that 3, 4, 5, 6 films back. With Vin, they kept exploring him, what would happen to Letty, what happened to his past. He had this kid here, he had that there. They're doing it again now with his fucking brother coming back from the past. It's just all rude roads and things come straight to him. And like I said, I do think, Paul Walker, no offence to the guy, apart from Fast and Furious, his films are shit. Like, they're really, really bad. That's what I mean, he's a thingy.
I don't think he was that bad in them.
He was like the film, they are very low budget, where Vin Diesel, the Chronicle franchises that grew, that Bloodshot we just recently had, he was more of an A-list. So if you talk about characters, I think, well, to be fair, actually, speaking of characters, I think they would say The Rock first now, actually. I think Vin would get named before Brian. But I'm coming from the other side, because Brian was my favourite until I met Han, and then I fucking fell in love with him. So I'm going to still stick with Vinny.
The way I was doing it, I was just doing characters in the franchise, not actually outside.
No, but you said, after this, you said about Thingy, about Paul Walker, and hearing that, and you think he'd be the biggest because of his character. So I'm saying because of Vin Diesel's power, his character would then be bigger. Who do you say? I mean, if you stick with Brian, it's coming down to you, Big. So I hope you're listening and swaying in. Do you want the guy who originally had nice goldy locks? His hair started off probably curly.
Yeah.
Vin's always been bald.
Yeah.
With a white vest.
Yeah.
I think as well,
Always put like a crowbar of his car.
Yes, always had a crowbar, and I'm pretty sure his outfit never really changed. Didn't he? He wore a vest at least once in the films. Yeah. He always, It was always every film he wore a vest once. Definitely, 100%. Where at least Paul Walker O'Brien seemed to change a bit more.
But no, yeah, I'm sticking with Vin. If you're sticking with Brian, it's down to you, Chewbacca. And then we can go have a coffee. By the sounds of it, you're cutting hair soon. I heard Mother Bear on the phone. And Chris, fuck, we hadn't actually much that long. Chris needs to do these. Needs to get me away on the Forza. Love Dom.
Yeah.
And there's Dom. That's definitely one you have to let us know because it's. Oh, I can hear my own mother wee. It's fucking disgusting. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. They should bring Wiz Khalifa into them because he sung that song, didn't he? With Charlie Thingy. Wiz Khalifa's somebody I truly believe would fit into that as a half decent actor.
We have had some DJs in it, as in Backstreet Racers.
Have they?
Mm.
I know obviously Ludacris is probably the biggest rapper maybe they've had in it.
You've had that in fucking Tokyo Drift, Lal fucking
Yeah, Bow Wow Kid.
yeah, Power Kid.
Or Lil Bow Wow.
Something like that.
Yeah. Bow Wow Kid's like a cowboy. I'm a Bow Wow Kid.
That guy with I can't fucking what's his name? I can't remember his name. But when Paul walks up, it's in. They were looking at the cars like pop the hood, pop the hood, pop the hood.
Which one's that?
And they've had Ja Rule.
Oh, fuck me, they have. Had Ja Rule in it.
I can't remember his fucking name. Was fucking Heston. Oh, it was just one name guy.
Heston.
Is that maybe Heston or fucking something like that? I think he's a rapper.
Can you remember, pal? Can you
I
remember?
can't remember his fucking name.
It's a franchise that attracts a lot of
Hector.
big names. Hector. I mean, we've had fucking Ronda Rousey pop in, haven't we?
Yeah, we've Ronda popping in.
She was a bad guy, though. That was in Dubai, wasn't it? Where the fucking... Going through the windows. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We might get Pitbull in space with them. It's going timber!
It'd be like say...
It's the worldwide.
But yeah, so we got Dom on that one, but that was quite a thingy one. You could, some people might say it could swing either way. But yeah, so I thought we'd do that one. It's a franchise that you at least know a bit better than me.
But like I said, I'm still waiting for number 9. Like I said, it's coming out April next year. Fast and Furious 9. Treat the usual lot back in it, plus Mr. John Cena.
It's going to be hard seeing a film where we're not going to be able to see him.
Shut up.
Man, that's mad though, isn't it? Look at all the WWE connections with The Rock being in it now. Roman Reigns, Cena's going to be in it. So
Hey, where's John? I thought he was in there.
He'll get credited. Do you know who'd been mint villain that they should stick in somewhere to keep as a villain? Who the films I've seen him in can kind of act a little bit. Randy Orton.
I don't know.
Nah, not as the villain. Like imagine Randy Orton and Vin Diesel fighting. He's just there as the like Batista and James Bond, where Batista wasn't the main villain; he was just the muscle.
Sometimes it goes and sometimes it doesn't. It was dodgy. They started off with John doing Marine,
Which is the only half decent
and to be
Marine.
honest, it wasn't that bad.
No.
After that, it went downhill with the fucking the Marine stuff.
Yeah,
and then you had Stone Cold and he's fucking
the one
the warrior were on an island. The
yeah,
went down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then Randy Orton did the second film, didn't he? That was a bit meh.
It's when WWE start putting too much of their own investment into it and they start making the
And
film
then
and
you
goes
had
a bit meh.
Triple H and fucking Blade.
Which wasn't awful,
It
but he
wasn't
sat and
bad.
carried a puppet. Who else was it?
He wasn't really. He didn't really say much, did he?
Yeah, to be fair as well, they always get put in these
And then
dodgy
you got
action
the
films.
Miz doing the Marines, and fucking still is doing about 20 Marines,
Oh,
isn't he?
Stone Cold was in the first Expendables.
He was.
He fairly battered Sylvester Stallone in that. Like, I like the Expendables. They're fun
And
films.
then what is it? And then obviously you had the Raw Hawk, who's got brought in, and then the Roman.
Yeah, who is The Rock still 100% the best actor to come out of WWE.
And then Ronda kind of makes an appearance.
Yeah, and she was a half decent actress. Oh my God. But there we go. We're gonna move.
Technically, she could have like killed Letty.
Yeah, they have the fight in the sub. No, in the big
tower.
The rig tower. Who's the ones that are fighting the subway? That's Letty and There's two girls that fight in the subway in London.
Yeah, there is.
I'm sure it's Letty against. Is that? Do they not go to Dubai and London in the same film? So it could still be Ronda Rousey. Oh no, it's the girl from Mandalorian.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, she was in that as well.
And she's an MMA. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking bad.
So them two would have killed Letty.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah, 100%. Unfortunately, in Fast and Furious, the regular people obviously they get enhanced a little bit.
Indestructible.
Yeah. There we go, visuals. That was the Fast and Furious bracket. Who was the biggest character in the franchise? Let us know what you think.
Except my favourite was Paul, bless him.
Paul was my second favourite out of everybody.
He was a decent guy. He did a lot of shit for charity. He owned
his own charities and that, didn't he?
Yeah, he had shitloads of cars that I fucking love.
It's cool as fuck.
And they've all just been auctioned off recently.
Have they?
Yeah.
Right, we'll leave it there because B's going to go cut some hair. I want to go
She
get
looks
coffee
like
and that in.
She's like half asleep.
She is. But there we go, visuals. Hope you enjoyed. Next week we're going to do our favourite types, ways to cut your toenails. So stay tuned for that.
You cut your toenails.
That won't go in the fucking bin. I don't know. I just don't arrive at them. There you go, visual segment. Listen, everyone's giving now.
I clip mine. Clip. And my toenails. And my fingernails.
I just chew them off to fuck.
Minging.
Watching Newcastle. Blood everywhere.
Minging.
5-0 down.
Minging.
Mine just snapped. My fingernails.
Yeah, one of mine broke, so I had to clip it.
Oh, bless you.
I know.
Yeah, there you go, visuals. Thank you for listening. Everyone's keep being you and keep on keeping down.
Love you, bye.
I can't swim.